waste by shopping smart and using what you buy before it gets trashed.
That's way better. Ooh, arugula.
Do your part and find out other world-saving tips at betterthaned.org.
Escanaba reporter Lily Simmons on WZMQ 19 News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, we have an update as the increase in the number of pertussis or whooping cough cases continues. We'll hear how they're affecting the UP. Plus, one of the focuses of this past Michigan legislature was on gun control. We'll go over what state lawmakers were able to accomplish before the next legislature moves in. And everyone is getting ready for the start of 2025. We'll see what the city of Marquette has planned for celebrations. Your 19 News at 6 starts now.
Live from the UP. Q19 News at 6.
Checking out the night planning here for Marquette on this Monday night. We're looking at mostly cloudy skies and fairly tranquil weather in the grand scheme of things. No precipitation expected. And you can see the temperatures won't change much, holding in the upper 20s. By daybreak, we'll be down into the mid to upper 20s, while downtown Marquette will be closer to 32. And we're looking at cloudy skies and not a whole lot happening for the rest of the Upper Peninsula through the night. Rest of the forecast later in the show. Kevin?
Thank you, Tom. And it is that time of year again when sickness is going around at a higher rate. While flu season is just around the corner, some doctors are worried about other illnesses that are making a resurgence. More cases of whooping cough are being reported this year than in the last 4 combined, and doctors are worried not enough people are getting vaccinated. Another concern is that with other illnesses prevalent, whooping cough can be hard to identify.
Part of the problem is that in older people, especially children over the age of like 1 or 2, whooping cough can look a lot like a regular cold until this cough that just doesn't stop. And so it can look like a virus. And so if you're not thinking about whooping cough, it can be easy to miss.
We'll have more on whooping cough and other seasonal illnesses tomorrow at 6/5 Central. And new details tonight, lawmakers in Lansing worked through a long agenda during the last few weeks of session. A group of bills passed in both the House and Senate to create more firearm safety measures. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent spoke with one of the groups advocating for the legislation to bring us more on what's waiting on the governor's desk.
In the last days of session in Michigan's legislature, the Capitol was filled with protesters, advocates, and groups like End Gun Violence Michigan.
We open up the papers, we turn on the TV, and we see yet another shooting.
A set of 3 bills managed to pass in both chambers, all addressing different gun safety measures. The first is an education bill that enables schools to send home info sheets about Michigan's safe storage law.
Those of us who were strong proponents of that wondered, how are we going to let everybody know about it?
The second set of legislation will put current Michigan State police practices into law. In the past, MSP used a third party to destroy the nearly 11,000 surrendered guns they receive each year. After discovering they weren't being completely destroyed, MSP created a rule that made it mandatory to fully destroy any surrendered firearm.
If we hand a gun over to law enforcement and they say they're going to destroy it, it will be destroyed.
The last set creates a funding source for community gun violence intervention programs. Groups that were created to find the best gun violence solution that works for their area will get the funding to support employees.
This will allow people who are doing this work voluntarily now to be able to quit their day jobs and to really concentrate on making our communities safer.
All of the bills now wait for a signature from Governor Whitmer before they can become law.
I think we walk hand in hand with our friends who are hunters and who work in law enforcement and who are conscientious firearm owners in wanting to see those who don't want weapons, don't want to take care of them, don't want the burden of the responsibility, do not have to have them.
From Michigan's capital, Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News.
Every year, hundreds of people flock to downtown Marquette for the annual New Year's Eve block party and ball drop. Double Trouble Entertainment, along with the DDA and Travel Marquette, are hosting this year. The evening begins with a more kid-friendly ball drop for those who don't want to stay up till midnight. That starts at 6 p.m. with a family-friendly block party, followed by another ball drop at 7. At 10, the Marquette New Year's Eve Ball Drop Bash begins with live DJs, food and drink, and dancing on the 100 block of West Washington Street.
Oh, we have a lot in store for tomorrow night. We've got the Double Trouble annual New Year's Eve Ball Drop Bash. It's going to be a huge block party on the Washington block, over outside of Diggs. We've got live music, we've got dancing, we've got fun lights, and we have our own custom New Year's Eve ball drop ball that we're dropping once again for the Marquette area.
The 100 block of West Washington will be closed to traffic from 10 a.m. on New Year's Eve until 6 a.m. New Year's Day. For more information, including where to park and social district rules, visit our website, WZMQ19.com. An Escanaba Healthcare organization is making sure those going out to celebrate tomorrow get home safely. OSF Hospital and Medical Group is offering New Year's Eve life rides for Delta County residents. Anyone who's been drinking can call the Data Bus or JN Taxi to get a free ride home. This is the 40th year of the Life Rides program, which started as a community effort to save lives after a tragic New Year's Eve in 1983.
There was a series of alcohol-related accidents. So in 1984, we started the program, and there's not been an alcohol-related accident or fatality in Delta County since. Our mission is to serve with the greatest care and love, and that goes beyond the walls of the hospital. And so this is another way that we can serve our community.
To get a life ride, call one of the numbers on your screen. The Data Bus encourages passengers to schedule their ride in advance if possible. Your first morning weather forecast coming up after the break. Plus, the one and only Jim Koski graces us with his presence to talk about an iconic UP food for life in the 906. And we're live in Washington, D.C. following the death of America's 39th president, Jimmy Carter. He died yesterday at the age of 100. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
John's Auto has been voted the #1 dealer to buy pre-owned vehicle for longer than I've been alive. If you're looking for a vehicle, or if you're looking for someone to help with your current car, or if you need to get yours looking like new again, come see us at John's Auto Sales and Service, Marquette.
CBS has a new way to ring in the new year. It's Nashville's Big Bash Live. With Kane Brown, Jelly Roll, Post Malone, Lainey Wilson, Chris Stapleton, Shabuzi, Brittany Spencer, Luke Combs, Miranda Lambert, and more. Happy New Year! Join hosts Keith Urban and Rachel Smith. New Year's Eve Live, Nashville's Big Bash. CBS tomorrow and streaming on Paramount+.
Shop our huge selection of Amish-crafted dining room sets at Kirkish Furniture in Houghton. Browse our large in-stock collection and customize with a special order. With 1-year no-interest financing available, plus free delivery. Shop Kirkish Furniture today.
The UP is a great place, but sometimes the weather changes quickly. You'll always be ready with the WZMQ 19 mobile app. Available free right now from the App Store. Your local weather power tool from WZMQ 19.
Is your parents' car sounding funny? Do you hear any clunks, rattles, squeaks, or leaks? Tell them to call John's Auto Service Department for fast, friendly, and affordable service. Come see us at John's Auto Sales and Service, Marquette.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Shunk Furniture.
It's Shunk's end of the year clearance. You'll save 30 to 60% off hundreds of items. We're clearing out sofas from Flex Steel, Lazy Boy in England. You can buy a nice sofa for just $449. There's big discounts on recliners from Lazy Boy, Flex Steel, and Best. Recliners start at just $299. And huge discounts on Amish dining room and bedroom furniture, quality that will last a lifetime. There's clearance prices on mattresses from Serta, Sealy, and Tempur-Pedic. A full-size mattress is just $179. Shop Shunks at Marquette today.
Now, WZMQ TV19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Tom DeVecchio.
One thing we note here as we count down the last few days of 2024, we're going to have a quiet ending and a tranquil start to 2025 by Wednesday. Not too bad here. Again, not much in the way of precipitation. However, things are going to get much colder as we head toward the end of the week. In fact, by the weekend, high temperatures may knock it out of the teens. Overall, the wind's pretty light here. Whenever you have light winds, it means there's no big storms around. And even though there is, of course, northerly winds tend to produce at least some lake effect, it'll be mainly the form of clouds overall. And we'll keep the winds on the light side here as we head on through New Year's Eve here and into the nighttime hours. We're going out for any festivities or just driving to your destinations. It looks like, again, Mother Nature will generally cooperate. So a couple of flakes here and there, as you can see, through Tuesday morning. Marquette, you yourself not getting much, but by Tuesday night, you can see there will be some lake effect snow bands here. Nothing seriously of note with these lake effect bands starting to kick into gear for Wednesday morning to start out the new year. And snowfall amounts by Wednesday, the end of the day, 1 to 3 from Lawns all the way toward the Lake Superior shoreline. But Marquette itself, less than a ½ inch, I think. And once you get toward Munising, out toward Newberry, once again, that northwesterly flow will set off the traditional lake effect in those areas. But the rest of you, not seeing much. So for New Year's itself, in the Upper Peninsula, we're looking at pretty tranquil conditions, maybe a few snow showers for New Year's Eve. New Year's Day, the lake effect bands you saw where they'll get hit. Marquette, you yourself won't see much in the way of snowfall as we ring in the new year on New Year's Day. For tonight, skies will be mostly cloudy overall. Keep things on the dry side. Most of you in the mid to upper 20s. Right on the lake shore, temperatures will be in the temperatures will be rather in the lower 30s. As we head on toward New Year's Eve, temperatures will be a lower to mid 30s with some upper 20s in spots. Again, mostly cloudy skies. Some lake effect light snow showers from Lawns westward into Ironwood. And maybe toward Houghton, you may see some lake effect snow showers, and that trend will continue into New Year's Day. You saw a couple of inches there for New Year's Day in the traditional snow belts. Most of you, though, getting less than an inch. And again, we ring in the new year pretty quiet and colder, down to near 20 by Friday. Looks like temperatures will not get out of the teens as we head toward the upcoming weekend, but not a lot in the way of lake effect snow.
Tom, thank you very much. There will be ceremonies in both Georgia and Washington, D.C. for former President Jimmy Carter in early January. The 39th president died at his home in Plains, Georgia yesterday. He was 100 years old. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp joins us live at the White House. And Rachel, what can we expect for the funeral services?
Well, good evening, Kevin. So we can expect the funeral services to be held here in Washington, D.C., but there's also going to be some ceremonies here in our nation's capital, as well as his home state of Georgia. Now, a state funeral is a huge tribute to those that served in our highest office. Now, here's what we know so far about the services and ceremonies for former President Jimmy Carter. Now, the former president died in his home in Plains, Georgia yesterday. We're told he will be brought to Atlanta to lie in repose this upcoming weekend at the Carter Presidential Center, which is his NGO work that aims to resolve conflicts, advance democracy, and prevent diseases. From there, he'll be flown to Washington, D.C. and lie in state at the U.S. Capitol early next week. We can expect many members of Congress, diplomats, and just people visiting the Capitol to pay their respects to him. Also next week, we're told there will be a funeral service for him at the National Cathedral here in D.C. President Biden will give a eulogy. We can expect former presidents to be in attendance, but it's unclear if President-elect Donald Trump will also be there. Afterwards, we're told that the former president will then be flown back to Georgia, where he will be interred next to former First Lady Rosalind Carter, his wife of nearly 8 decades. She died last year. Now, Kevin, flags have been lowered to half staff for the next 30 days, which is pretty standard following an official's death or a tragic event. But that also means that those flags will be at half staff during President-elect Donald Trump's inauguration here in Washington. Now, following the news of the former president's death, many heads of states, dignitaries, members of Congress on both sides of the aisle, including Biden and Trump, they released their own statements and comments on Carter and his legacy. In short, many of them kind of commented on that about him being an admirable statesman, a family man, and a U.S. citizen. Kevin, back to you.
Rachel, thank you very much. And still to come on your 19 News, we're joined by the Iron Ore Heritage Trail Administrator, Bob Hendrickson, to hear how they did in 2024. That conversation coming up on Insights when we come back.
Icy hot. Ice works fast. Heat makes it last. Feel the power of contrast therapy, so you can rise from pain. Icy hot.
These hands are working hands. My hands are the most important tools I have. You need to take care of them. That's where O'Keeffe's comes in.
It's America's #1 selling hand cream for guaranteed relief.
If it works for these hands, it'll work for yours.
Also available in O'Keeffe's Lip Repair.
Oh, hi. I suppose you're wondering what an A-list celebrity like me is doing in a place like this. You must know, I'm saving the world. Oh, hi, Beth. Yep, saving the world again. Did you know that 40% of all the food produced in the United States is thrown away? That means everything that went into that food, the pesticides, the water, the land, was all for nothing. Just look at this perfectly good food thrown in the trash. The pizza with extra Cheerios, these goldfish and Band-Aid tacos. And just look at this perfect trash burger. This pasta dog looks delicious.
You don't have to dumpster dive like Ed Begley Jr. to save the planet. Fight food waste by shopping smart and using what you buy before it gets trashed.
That's way better. Ooh, arugula.
Do your part and find out other world-saving tips at betterthaned.org.
She's inquisitive.
What led to this young lady finding you in this compromising situation?
And firm.
The only thing that matters in this particular courtroom, sir, is how I see it.
Watch Equal Justice with Judge Ebony K. Williams.
Weekdays on WZMQ CBS. You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local, with Kevin Hodge.
Welcome back, everyone. Every now and then we like to check in with how the Iron Ore Heritage Trail Authority is shaping our area trails, and that's what we're doing today with their trail administrator, Bob Hendrickson. Bob, I want to talk to you about 2024 as we're coming to the end of the year.
Yeah, we completed a full year. This is my first full year being the trail administrator on my own. Had Carol Fulcher last year kind of guide me through the first 6 months. She gave me quite a few projects to get done, and we got most of those done this year.
What are some of the major ones you can tell us about?
Well, the biggest ones were the Koski Forest acquisition. So we have 176 acres that we acquired in the Marquette Township and Negaunee Township, and that was through Carol Schwemmen and Joyce Britton. Their dad, Koski, purchased the land a long time ago for basically it was rural grounds, hunting grounds at the time, and then they wanted to keep it in public domain. So they approached the Heritage Trail about working on acquiring that and giving it to the public. And we're going to be working with the Nokemanon Trail Network to develop a trail network on that land.
All right, excellent. This past election, we saw a pretty good result for you guys as well, being able to get more input from other municipalities.
Right.
Tell us about that.
So a lot of the Heritage Trail was based in mid-2000, and the idea behind it was to have 10 municipalities that all joined together as a recreation authority to provide this linear trail from Republic out to Chocolate. Through the years, there's been different ones. There's been a solid group within the east side of it. We finally got Republic on, but then they dropped off, and now we have Ely, Humboldt, and Republic on board. So it's a full 10 representing municipalities that the trail runs through. And then we'll also be bringing a representative from Marquette, County of Marquette to be our odd vote as part of our bylaws. So we're looking to get input from those community groups. Improving the ORV surface out there. We got a lot of infrastructure. We're also looking at ways to create some community connectivity. How do we get these communities better in time or better access to the trail and a way they could use those.
Any other major projects you guys were able to accomplish this year?
Yeah, we had the boardwalk, the Marshland Boardwalk, and that was something that has been in the works. It was part of the original concept actually back in 2010. The funding wasn't there. Carol was able to get a Michigan Trust Fund grant, and then we used that money to start a project, and then we balanced it out with the rest of the funds on our end. That was a challenging project in itself, just for putting it in, and the cost that our original cost had to be cut down, so we had to change the project up a little bit, which caused more supply issues. But then we got it finally in, and then we had some flooding. And that was an interesting time of the year. And that was right at the end of the season. And we were fortunate enough, we have great partners along the trailway. Canadian National Railroad repaired the culvert that was causing the back flooding, and we should be good to go for next year.
Excellent. And
Yep.
speaking of next year, what do you have plans for 2025, Bob?
Well, the biggest one is Lankin Land. We're doing an extension from Chocolate Caboggin Road out to Lankin Land. It'll be a 5-mile extension. Currently there's a state ORV corridor there. And what we're to be doing is building a non-motorized corridor parallel to that. So this is the first time we've had, a corridor that both contains motorized and non-motorized. We're going to see how this goes and go from there if there's other areas that we can actually incorporate this kind of concept. So we're looking forward to it. Lankin Land's a pretty popular sculpture park on the east end. And we'll be tying in with them and hopefully completing that by the end of August.
All right, sounds great. Can't wait to see that come to fruition, Bob. Thank you so much for coming in. Always appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right, and coming up next on your 19 News, Jim Koski joins us for Life in the 906 to tell us about a classic UP food. And later we hear about a big grant for Bay College they're hoping to use to offer more learning opportunities for people of all generations. But first, here's your Upers United Volunteer Opportunity of the Day, and it's one that merges with professional development. You have the opportunity to become a tax preparer, helping your neighbors file and get their tax refunds. There's no experience required, and to sign up to be a volunteer or check out other opportunities, just head to upersunited.com. We will be right back.
Let's play some Hollywood Square! God created light on the first day. What did he do on the second day?
He told Eve, don't go there, girl.
The behavior deemed most unacceptable on a flight is when people let their kids do what?
Get on the plane.
In 2023, what was the most popular name for baby boys born in the U.S.?
Nick Cannon Jr.
Hollywood Squares premieres CBS January 9th and streaming on Paramount+.
Hi friends, Richard Karn here. Now I'm known as the guy who can fix just about anything, but the technology in most appliances requires very special training to fix. And that's why my family has Choice Home Warranty.
Choice Home Warranty covers over 25 major home systems and appliances. That's your AC, heating, plumbing, kitchen and laundry appliances, and so much more.
Imagine for less than a cup of coffee a day, Choice Home Warranty can help protect you from expensive major system and appliance breakdowns that your homeowner's insurance doesn't cover.
Call Choice Home Warranty now and get access to a nationwide network of over 15,000 technicians and the latest appointment setting technology so you'll know when they're on their way.
So, do what this old DIYer did and call Choice Home Warranty now before something breaks down.
Get protection for your heating, AC, plumbing, kitchen and laundry appliances, and more. Call for your free quote today. Call in the next 5 minutes and get your first month free. 800-418-1754. 800-418-1754.
Blades Bait and Tackle and Little Beatty Knock. They've got rods, reels, cases, walls full of tackle and lined by the spool. Even more rods, hand augers, of course electric ones are cool. Tip-ups, heaters, boxes, sleds, and electronics to get you on the bite. Shacks to buy or rent for the day or night. Clothes to keep you warm through thick and thin, and of course all sorts of bait in the buckets it goes in. If you're heading for the bay, always make your first stop Blades Bait and Tackle in Kipling. You need it, they've got it. Be sure to visit them online at bladesbait.com to get the latest ice conditions and weather reports.
Welcome back, everyone, and here he is, my favorite teacher of all things UP, Jim Koski. Jim, what do you have for us?
Well, dear students, hope that you and everyone had a great Christmas. Mine was quiet and peaceful, and I was lucky enough to be the recipient of some great but pleasingly random gifts. A cow calendar, a Spanish soccer ball, and a Funko Pop of Martina McBride? But another gift I received reminded me that for many people living in the UP, there's more to our diet than just the 4 basic Upper foods of pasties, koodige, fudge, and beer. There are also such specialties as pizza from the Congress, pizza from the Ambassador, the Upper fondue of squeaky cheese dipped in coffee, or, in the case of that other Christmas gift I mentioned, Trinary toast. That's right. I got Trinary toast for Christmas. Cinnamon chocolate chip Trinary toast. Is this a great world or what? For almost 100 years now, Trinary toast has been woven into the fabric of UP life, even if it doesn't have the universal fame of a food like pasties. But I think Trinary toast deserves to be on that very same level. Think of the two foods, pasties and Trinary toast, like you do the past 2 Green Bay Packer quarterbacks. Pasties are like Aaron Rodgers. They get all the attention. But Trinary Toast is like Jordan Love, getting the job done without all the hype. And which one of those two is going to the playoffs this year? Huh? Now, admittedly, Trinary Toast can be an acquired taste, but it is quintessentially Upper, down to earth and built to last, but with a sweet side to it as well. And you know that once people try it, they're hooked. Just ask the tourists who keep coming back to buy Trinary Toast year after year after year. So in a holiday season that sees soccer balls and calendars and Martina McBride sitting under my Christmas tree, just know that the one gift I've already opened and sampled quite a bit is the one that deserves a UP food group of its very own. I'm Jim Koski, and that's another slice of another slice of life in the 906.
All right, Jim, thank you very much for another lesson. You'll have to bring some of that in. I haven't had any yet. Look at that, folks. Trinary Toast. All right, I'm going to have to give this a try. Jim, I was not expecting you to have just a random bit of Trinary Toast in your pocket.
Well, Kevin, I'm teaching you everything I can about the UP, so there you go.
All right, and I'm a hands-on learner. Thank you so much, Jim. And don't forget to join Jim weekday afternoons on Q107 WMQT. A large state grant is helping one Upper Peninsula college make higher education more accessible for students at any stage in life. Our Escanaba Bureau reporter Lily Simmons tells us how.
Bay College has received a $1 million College Success Go Big grant from MyLeap, or the Michigan Department of Lifelong Education, Advancement, and Potential.
The state has invested about $45 million into these initiatives, so for us to receive $1 million here at Bay College, in a small rural community college, it's a big win for us. It's a big win for our students, it's a win for our staff and faculty, and a win for our community.
The money will allow Bay to scale up some of its existing resources and programs, including professional development for faculty and staff, career services, and competency-based education.
That's an initiative that's happening really across the country, and Bay College is leading the way in the state of Michigan with CBE. We have 2 programs running as competency-based.
Funds will also be used to strengthen the college's prior learning initiatives,
which really gives adult students a chance to look at what they already know, the skills they have, credentials they maybe have earned in the workplace, and counting that for college credit.
The $1 million grant is part of the state's 60 by 30 initiative, which aims to help 60% of adults earn a college degree or credential by the year 2030. And by investing in these opportunities, Bay College can help adult learners fit higher education into their lifestyle.
We know students come to us with all different types of barriers, whether that be they're working, they have family, maybe they're first generation. They bring different challenges. So Bay College really responds to those needs and tries to remove those barriers for students.
Bay College can put those funds to use as soon as the first of the year, just in time for a new semester starting January 13th. Lily Simmons, WZMQ 19 News, Escanaba.
Coming up next, Tom DeVecchio gives us a final look at weather, and I tell you, I did just have some of that Trinary Toast. It is very good, Jim. Thank you very much. All right, we'll be back in 2 minutes.
Looking for your next level in real estate? Look no further than Next Home Superior Living. Stephanie's not just any realtor. She's energetic, talented, equipped with the latest technology, and decades of experience to serve you better. At Next Home Superior Living, we're not just selling homes, we're guiding clients and customers throughout the entire transaction. That's Stephanie Jones of Next Home. Visit stephaniesells.com and let her work with you for your next home. Don't settle for ordinary. Choose Next Home Superior Living for your extraordinary real estate journey.
Oh, hi. I suppose you're wondering what an A-list celebrity like me is doing in a place like this. You must know, I'm saving the world. Oh, hi, Beth. Yep, saving the world again. Did you know that 40% of all the food produced in the United States is thrown away? That means everything that went into that food, the pesticides, the water, the land, was all for nothing. Just look at this perfectly good food thrown in the trash. The pizza with extra Cheerios, these goldfish and Band-Aid tacos. And just look at this perfect trash burger. This pasta dog looks delicious.
You don't have to dumpster dive like Ed Begley Jr. to save the planet. Fight food waste by shopping smart and using what you buy before it gets trashed.
That's way better. Ooh, arugula.
Do your part and find out other world-saving tips at betterthaned.org.
What's on MeTV in Hooterville?
That famous TV show.
The Beverly Hillbillies.
The Beverly Hillbillies.
The Beverly... you know, that's that show where this old man struck oil in the hills, and he packed up his kit and he's moved his whole caboodle to Beverly Hills.
Watch the Beverly Hillbillies.
I like that show, especially the man who plays the father, Buddy Epstein.
Doggy.
Followed by Green Acres.
Doggy.
Beverly Hillbillies and Green Acres. Weeknights at 9 and 9:30 p.m. on WZMQ MeTV.
Snow showers will be a minimum for most of you, except maybe in the traditional snowbelt areas for New Year's Day, where 1 to 3 inches possible in the traditional snowbelts itself. Marquette, probably less than an inch for you, and most other areas along the Wisconsin border, less than an inch as well. Temperatures will gradually drop into the new year, getting down to about 20 by Friday. Teens, but not much snow expected as we head toward the upcoming weekend. Kevin, back to you.
Tom, thanks very much. And I did promise a couple of my friends, Chandler Tuttle and Karakoski, that I would shout them out tonight. No more shout outs for a while. All right, guys, we'll see you later tonight at 11:10 Central.